Good morning. It's Monday, the 11th of June, 2018. Welcome to Bracknell and this morning's United Kingdom Talk with yours truly, Chris Reardon, here for another day of fun-packed chat. Although I'm only here for about half an hour. I've left it a bit late this morning. Everything is running very late tonight because we had a good night last night at the first karaoke at the King's Head Theatre Bar. Yes, I'll come to that in a minute. Beautiful day here. The sun is out already. Oh, do you know what? I've forgotten to put my rubbish out. I don't think they come before. They usually don't come before sort of 10:30. I should be all right. I put my green bin out. I've got 3 bins here. Have I told you? I've got a green bin. That's for normal rubbish or trash, as the American trash, darling, trash. Not white trash like me, darling. Just trash. That's for normal trash. We've got the brown bin. That is for garden stuff. Now, we have to pay for that. 50 quid a year. 50 quid a year to take away a few grass cuttings. What's happening? And that's gone up quite a lot this year. I think it's gone up about 8 quid this year, which is outrageous. I don't know how it goes up so quick in 1 year. But we are getting the occasional story in the local newspaper of people simply chucking their clippings and things like that. Do you know, I've just realised, that doesn't look straight, does it? Oh, it's not straight. Oh, how annoying is that? Look, it's crooked. That's crooked, and so is the Queen. She's a bit crooked, isn't she? Can I just adjust? Oh, I can't stand it. Just a minute. How am I going to get those staples out? 1 minute. Have you noticed anything? Just a minute. Yeah, and I've got that. 1 minute now. 1 minute. I'll get that back out. Oh, no, I can't bear it. 1 minute. I'll have to do that later. I'll do it later. The Barry one. Is that straight now? The Barry one. That's straight now. Sorry, the picture of the Queen was not straight. She was looking a bit drunk. I don't know if she does drink or not, boys and girls, but she might do. Yes, so we got that. The brown bin, which I have to pay 50 quid a year for, which I haven't paid for yet, funnily enough. I must do that. And we have a blue bin, which is for the recycling bin. And the recycling bin actually now has more in it than anything else. Bits of plastic, cardboard boxes, paper, that sort of thing. So they usually come on a Monday. Now, 1 week we get the normal rubbish bin, which is today. The other week is the recycling stuff and the brown bin for the garden waste. So that's next week. So this week is the normal rubbish. Now, I've already put it in position. I have to wheel it down the path and put it at the end of the path, and everyone else does that as well. And I usually do that on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, sort of just before if I've just got up or something like that, after a little nap, or just before I go to work, as in last night. And then they come Monday, round about sometime between 10:30 and 12 o'clock usually. But occasionally they come earlier. So that's in position. Of course, then I've got a night of rubbish, if you see what I mean. A night of rubbish that collects. And I have the rubbish, I have a little bin in the bathroom as well. That's mainly got that stuff in it. What's it called? What you do your teeth with. Bits of string. What's that called? Floss. That's got mainly floss, maybe a toothpaste tube in there, and a couple of tissues. That's about it. That's all that goes in there. But I always leave that till last, so that I can get last night's rubbish in there after I've done my with the flossing. Goes in the bin, and then I put the other bag out, usually in the morning today, along with any other rubbish that's collected from the kitchen yesterday. But I haven't done that yet. I've forgotten to do that. And I can't, I hate rubbish. I hate having rubbish still here that should have been collected today. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to take up any room. A few bits of floss in a carrier bag is not going to take any room at all up in the green bin. But it's here and it should be gone. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit funny like that, so I'll have to put that out after I finish the show today. So last night, it's very, as I say, beautiful day yesterday. It turned into a really nice day. It looks like it's a beautiful day today. Very, very dry now. The whole garden is looking very dry. And I keep having to go. I don't like to get the hose out. I really don't. I very, very rarely water the lawn. But actually, I think I'm going to have to because most of it's dead now. I mean, it's dry as it's hard. Cracks are appearing, not only on my face, but on the lawn as well, dear. Shocking and horrifying. So I might get that sprinkler out tonight, maybe when I come in from work a little bit later on. So last night we did our first karaoke at the King's Head Theatre Bar. Oh, yes, and it worked. It worked. My worries about the sound limiter. Yes, the sound limiter was working. Did it cut out? Not once. Not once. It got close to it. There were only two. Now, what I have to do is keep a very close eye on the sound. Let me explain to you what a sound limiter is. It stops the sound going too loud. How does it do that? It literally cuts off the power to you, the entertainer, if you get too loud, right? So there's a box on the wall with little lights going up on it. But for all to see, you can just look at the wall and there it is. And it's like green. And then there's yellow and then there's red at the top. And also, as well, when it gets to yellow and red, there is another light which is much brighter than those two on the wall. So if that light comes on, you're about to get cut off and you need to take action immediately. Right. Now, it should work just on the entertainer. Unfortunately, the crowd as well can set it off if they become too noisy and too rowdy. Right? This didn't happen last night. Fortunately. And last night, as I say, I was very worried about this sound limiter. However, we got away with it. It worked. It worked. There were only two people who set off the big light that tells me it's too light. Mr. Ray Reynolds, who shouts into the microphone, and Lady Phoenix. They're the only two people who managed to set the light off. At which point you have to turn it down. You see, because the problem is, let me tell you how I have to control it, right? So you've got to set the microphone to avoid being cut off to the loudest part of someone's voice. Okay, to give you an example. Right, let's bring this up here. If I'm talking like that, okay? If I'm talking like that, we can't hear you, right? Now, if I suddenly talk like that... that is the point at where I've got to set the level. So if I've set it like that and then you start singing like that or move your mic away, then we lose you completely. All right? And some people, sometimes they're like that and they're asking you to turn the microphone up, but you can't because you know from experience with that person, with that particular person, whoever that might happen to be, that they're about to go very loud. So you can't turn it off because the last thing you want is for everything to cut out. It's just a total and utter embarrassment, not only for you, but even more so for the singer, because people know that it's the singer who set it off. Okay? So you've got to be very, very careful with one of those sound limiters. But last night we did get away with it, and I think that'll be okay after all. We started at 9 o'clock and we finished at 12 midnight, and it was a damn good night. Lots of lovely people, karaoke regulars turned up last night. We had the delightful Maureen turned up, nice and early. She went home with Ray Reynolds last night. Maureen left the pub with Ray Reynolds, so I don't know what's going on there. We'll have to make certain inquiries to see if there's something going on with Ray Reynolds and Maureen. They left the pub together. Right about 10:30 they went, which is usually Ray's time for getting home because he has to get a train and all that business, and so does Maureen. But they turned up, Ray and Maureen. Let me think. Alan was there, Lady Phoenix, her other half, David H, some of her friends, Apple. Oh, she's gorgeous, Apple. I love Apple to bits. She came in with some bloke. What other regulars did we have there? There were quite a few of them. Oh, God, I can't remember names now. But never mind. The staff seemed to enjoy the karaoke last night, so I'm pleased about that as well. And some of the theatre people stayed, and there was another couple of people that joined in that were in the pub. So all in all, a damn good night, 9 till 12 o'clock. Now, the only thing is with the karaoke on a Sunday, it's going to be a variable start time. It will always start by 10. 10 is the absolute latest it will start. Sometimes it'll start earlier at 9 o'clock. Now, how are you going to know that? Well, just keep an eye on my wall, okay? On Sunday morning, or late Sunday morning, probably Saturday night. I'll do it Saturday night. On Saturday night, I will put up on my Facebook wall, If you're not on there, it's facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. I will put up what time the karaoke's starting that week. All right, that's the only way to do it. We did have the option of starting at 10 o'clock every week. Okay, but that only gives us 2 hours. Okay, sometimes we might have 2 hours, sometimes we might have 3. And I thought, well, if there's another hour going, we might as well take it. All right, so that's how it's going to work. Always check on my Facebook wall what time the karaoke is starting the next day, as in Sunday, and it will be up there. If you want to be absolutely sure and you can't be bothered to look, just turn up at around about 9:30 and it should start shortly. We have to wait for the show in the theatre to finish first. Sometimes it finishes at 8:30, okay? Other times, 9:30. So next week, I'm pretty sure it's 9:30. When the moment the doors to the theatre opens and they start coming out, we can start at that point. We haven't got to wait for everyone to leave the theatre. As soon as the show is finished, bang, we're on. We've started last night as they're coming out. All right, it's as quick as that, so no worries about that. So an excellent night. Do join us next week. There we are at the King's Head Theatre Bar for karaoke Sunday nights. Next week it's from 10 o'clock, and that's at 115 Upper Street in Islington. Nice to see some more faces down there. I have a good feeling about that one. That's gonna roll. That is very much quicker to get to work on a Sunday as well. I have to tell you, it was about an hour and a half instead of 2 hours, so that was a bonus. Because of course there's traffic in London, but the traffic I usually pick up at this end, which I'll get tonight, and on the motorway, and going into London, that's not there. The traffic leaving Bracknell isn't there on a Sunday night, you see. So I avoid all that, and I didn't get traffic until I got to, but actually the Euston Road. That's where I first got it, when I was on the A40 Westway, as I was coming down, towards Baker Street. That's where it started. And it was pretty bad from there right the way to the pub. But I didn't get it until... So I've been travelling for like 50 minutes. 45, 50 minutes before I got any traffic at all last night. So hopefully that's what will happen on a Sunday in future. All right? Let's say hello to some of you watching this morning. Over on Facebook Live, good morning. First message of the day. Where are we? Actually, let's do the text message this morning. There we are. Who is it? There you are. Good morning, Maureen. Love the backdrop with the flamingo and the waterfall. You've noticed. Thank you, Maureen. The flamingo is a real thing. That's real. Okay, perhaps you didn't notice it was up there last week, but yeah, we've changed the backdrop at Light. Do you like it? That's our summer backdrop. I feel quite wet sitting here. Some of you are probably quite wet watching me, to be honest. So good morning. Good morning. First message. Thank you, Maureen. I'm glad you like it. It's always worth, when I've done something and someone says, "Oh, that looks nice," it was worth doing. Do you know what I mean? Over on YouTube, good morning to Joanna. Morning, Joanna. Morning to Andrew Parker on YouTube. Paul Mosley in Birmingham. Good morning, Paul. Claire's there. Good morning to you, Claire, who says, hi, surprised you are still with us. Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes, Claire says to Paul, I'm surprised you're still with us. What with your smart meter now? Because Paul's got a new electricity smart meter and he watches every penny that's going out. And if anything goes too far, he goes into it. The place is in darkness. Paul's house, he don't turn any lights on now or anything because he's got a smart meter telling him how much he's spending at any given time. Claire, we missed you on Friday. Where were you Friday, darling? Here she is. I was over your way yesterday at the California Country Park. Yeah, that's not far from here. Lovely lake and Jackson's Cafe. Did some nice food. I've never actually been there to California Country Park. I must go. Claire loves the new backdrop as well, as indeed does Joanna. Thank you, Claire and Joanna. We missed you yesterday. We did miss you yesterday. Andrew, does it give the crowd an electric shock if they get noisy? That's a good idea, Andrew. That's a very, very good idea. I was worried with all these, dangerous muggings and things going on, sort of in London at the moment. Well, I'm not in London, fortunately. Can you have a 240 volt electric fence that goes around your house? Is that possible? Can you get a 240 volt electric fence going around the house? Sort of inside? I'd love that. You know, anyone, because there's no one supposed to be in the garden who's not supposed to be in there. Do you know what I mean? Only me. That's it. Can't bear it. Casey. You naughty person, Casey. Possibly. I'm not going to read that out. He's on Periscope. That's where all the dodgy messages come from. Anyone on Periscope sends dodgy messages because they know only a few people see them. Apparently, it cost Paul 4p to watch the show yesterday. Send us your address and I'll send it to you in the post. Couple of stamps attached to an envelope or something. Good morning to Andy Baker on Facebook Live. Morning, Andy. Hello to Joey Millen, Diane Jebb, Adam the Plumber. Morning to you. Ray Reynolds says it's turned out nice again. It certainly has. It's beautiful out there. Beautiful. I look forward to walking to the swimming pool a little bit later on. Of course. Oh, look. Blimey, it's that time already. Listen, I need you to give me some songs this morning. 5 songs, one of which must be a classical piece that people would know. And a ballad, because I've got my music and chat show this morning. Okay, that starts at 10 o'clock. You need a different web address for that, reachonair.com. Okay, reachonair.com. You'll find my music and chat show on there at 10 o'clock. So I'm only with you for another 10 minutes because I've got to sort that out as well. But I need, I always take requests for the music and chat show. You can have music from all time as long as there's no swearing in it. All right, so anything from the 50s right up to today. Any requests, I can take the first 6. I can take 6 requests, one of which must be classical and one of which must be a ballad. So the first 6 that come in, type your requests there and I'll sort those out for the music and chat show in half an hour's time at 10 o'clock. All right. Morning, Diane. Wayne Martin. Good morning, Wayne. Nice to see you. Andy Baker is loving the nude backdrop as well. Thank you, as is Joey. Good morning, Joseph. Sorry to hear about the UK's loss. My heart goes out. What's happened? What have we lost? Have we lost something then? I don't know what you're talking about, Joseph. Have I missed something in the news? Hang on, let me look at the BBC News site. Have we lost something? Sorry, Joseph. Don't know what you're talking about there. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there. Please explain more, okay? Thank you, Ray. Is loving the backdrop and the forest. Morning, Angela. How are you, you old bugger? Been busy playing golf. Oh, I've never done golf, Angela. That can be a really expensive thing to do, can't it? You can do it cheaply. You know, the council have got golf places and all that. Or you can do it privately. It's the most beautiful places all over the world. Golf clubs, aren't they? All over the world. There's a few around here. And I looked at joining one. It was £2,500 a year. £2,500 a year. I said, it's about 6 Australian, that is. Blimey. A lot of money to play golf. Good morning, Gary Davidson. Wayne won't pay for the garden bin. Mine goes to landfill. A waste manager from... Oh, does it really? Can you just put it in the landfill bin then? The grass cuttings and all. Well, I suppose really if you put it in a black plastic bag. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? I don't know. Heidi says the glitter ball isn't moving. Oh, I'm sorry, Heidi. Hang on a minute. There we are. So much to remember. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Heidi, for completely ignoring all the content that I've put time and effort into sorting out today and noticing the mirror ball instead. Morning. Get a picture of Australia on your wall and kangaroo eating fudge. No! If I put a picture of Australia on there, you'd think it was Australia, wouldn't you, that this programme is coming from? Morning, Ray Belasco. Good morning, Ray. He's having a lot of problems at the moment with hospitals and doctors, aren't you? Never mind. Joseph says he's jealous about Maureen. What, going home with Ray? I hope to get all the gossip tonight. One will come up to me and tell me how good they were, and then the other one will come up to me and tell me how bad the other one was, probably. Thank you, Ben. I'll read that a little bit later. It's a bit technical for people there. Calvin Harris. Oh, there we go. Calvin Harris, One Kiss. Calvin Harris. A lot of messages coming in. I'm trying to keep up with you, boys and girls, okay? Andy Baker. I don't know what that is. Chris, I got instrumental pieces. I don't know what that is. Good morning, Shane. Morning. Morning, Ants Galloway. Good morning, Ants. So we got one there. One. Is that all we've got? One request this morning. Waltzing Matilda, song ballad. Okay. Waltzing Matilda. Right, okay. Is there a particular version of that you want? I'll have to find that one. I don't think it's on your system. That'll have to come off Spotify, that one. Okay. Good morning to Duke Chris, who's in St. George's Hospital. Good morning, Chris. Are you having some tests? Are you wired up to machines? I hope you've got my show on very loud so that all the nurses and staff can hear. They work very hard for very little money there. Are they bringing you sandwiches and cups of tea, Chris? Hey, would you like me to come and hold something for you? Would you like that, Chris? I could come and hold something for you a little bit later on if you want. A visitor? Hey? Do you want me to give you a bed bath? I'm very good at bed baths. I've got a nice rough flannel for you. Turn over. It's like sandpaper. Did your nan have a flannel? Well, I don't have flannels here. I just use my hands, bit of soap on there and do all that business. We all had flannels, nans, and actually we had flannels at home as well. I think they disappeared as the years went on. Rough flannels. They did a very, very good job. Rough flannels. It's in for neuro rehab. Okay, what is that, please, Chris? I don't know what that is. Is that something attached to a machine or something like that? Billabits. Don't know that one, Andy. Have you got No, we want songs that people know, dear. Can we have songs that people know? Who knows? Does anyone else know that song that Andy has just requested? Huh? People used to do that while I was DJing. I swear they did it. They'd go over into the corner and they'd choose the most obscure song they could possibly think about in the hope that I wouldn't find it. I'm sure that's what you're doing there, aren't you? Good morning, Rod Brown. What's that? Waylon Jennings, Don't Think Twice is All Right. What is that? Is that a song as well? Never heard from that one either, Shane. Where are you getting these songs for? Popular songs like ABBA, Take a Chance on Me, or Toto, Africa, or Calvin Harris, One Kiss. Can we have popular songs? Frank Ifield, Walking. There you go. Ray Reynolds has sent in a sensible song. Right, Frank Ifield. There we go. We'll look up that one. Good morning to Lily Beth. Lily, where have you been? It's been months and months since we saw you coming to sing for us. Lily's a wonderful person. Her and her husband's coming to the pub sometimes, don't you? Singing a song, side by side. There's one for you, Ray Reynolds. Is that one in the system, Side by Side? Do you remember that one? Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Da, 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 da. We love the old school. Fidemus Overture. I think I've heard of that before. Okay. Fidemus Overture. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Thank you, Diane. Neil Diamond, Love on the Rocks. Excellent. There's your ballad. Neil Diamond. Thank you, Andy. Love on the Rocks. Ain't no surprise. Pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies. I'm 10 years old. There was the lie. Did you get it? Oh, please yourselves. Thank you. Right, we'll have those two then. Back in Black, AC/DC. Always a fly. Do you know, there's a great big fat... Oh, it's a... That was a great big fat black fly, and it was so fat, it was hovering above the carpet. Oh, it might have been looking for somewhere to lay eggs. I could come in here tomorrow and there would be flies buzzing around all over the place. Eggs laid somewhere. You've got to be very careful not to tread on... Is it cockroaches? Never, ever tread, especially if it's on your carpet, never, ever tread on a cockroach. Because what happens is you kill it and then you squeeze its eggs out and they hatch. Cockroaches everywhere. Vile things. Or they crunch. I've worked in a lot of pubs where I've seen cockroaches. I can say this now because it's closed now. I was working in the Black Cap one night. This is no word of a joke, right? No word of a lie, rather. And the mixer is a thing that you put all the sound together with. It all comes into this thing and you put sliders up and down so you can hear it. I've got one here next to me here. The mixer was in front of me and I kid you not, a cockroach crawled out of one of the faders, walked across the mixer and crawled back in another one. Oh, frightened the life out of me. David Rosen, who was a DJ there as well at the time, he said, oh, yes. He said, always give your clothes a good shake before you leave here. Oh, we don't like it. You get a lot of them in other countries, don't you? Cockroaches, not so bad. It was certainly, I've never seen one in this house. I've had fleas here. Oh, that's awful. I had fleas here once, from the cat. And I had to get special spray. Psst, you spray it all. Psst, you close the doors for 4 hours. You leave the house, close it open. You come back in, open the doors, and there's hundreds and hundreds of dead insects all over them. It must have been really potent, this stuff. And they never came back after that. Fleas gone. Good. Horrible things. Let's have a look. That was on the old cloud mixer. That's right, Ben. Great big thing it was. It is literally out of the slot. The slider goes up came a cockroach. It crawled across and down it came while I was working on a Saturday night. Absolutely frightening it was. John Strauss, thank you, Strauss. I'll look that one up, Di. I like to try and choose classical pieces that no one knows. Let me tell you about the Music and Chat show. That's at 10 o'clock tonight. I play music from all time, and there's always 3 features in that. We have a Barry Manilow song, around about 1:15 the hour. We have a bit of classical around about 1/2 the hour, and we have a ballad near to the end, okay? And the rest of it is a little bit of me chatting, just a little bit of chatting with background music, and the songs you've chosen as well as some others as well, okay? So that's how it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any more there? What have we got there? Tell It to My Heart. Excellent, Ben. Excellent. Tell It to My Heart. Excellent. Great song. Hang on, I haven't written people's names down next to it. What's that? Diane. There's Diane. Got the classical one. Diane. Love your name, Diane. One Kiss, that's Wayne, isn't it? One Kiss is Wayne. Wayne Martin. Waltzing Matilda. Who was that for? That's for Angela, wasn't it? Angela Waters. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3. Who asked for Love on the Rocks? Was that Andy? I think that was Andy. But Andy Baker. Andy Baker. Hang on, Andy Baker. Who's got Back to Black? Back in Black. Oh, that's Angela's one. You can't have 2, Angela. Now you're being greedy, dear. You can't have 2. That's greedy. I'll have to cross that one out, I'm afraid. Which one do you want? Waltzing Matilda or AC/DC? I'm going to go with the Waltzing Matilda. I'm crossing that. I've chosen that for you. You Make the World Better. I don't know that one. Operator by Jim Croce. Operator. Right, Joseph Schoenbarger. How's Mr. Trump doing? He's meeting the other bloke today, isn't he? Is it today? He's meeting Kim Jong-un. Is he? I wonder what they're going to do. What are they going to have for food? Are they going to have burgers? I think old Kim's probably all right. We got the football coming up this week, haven't we? Oh, how boring is that? The pubs will be full of middle-aged blokes shouting at the TV at the referee like he can actually hear them. Oh, God. And they'll all be going all on the telly about the football in 1966 when England won the World Cup. 1966. And they still go on. And I was 3 years old then. They still go on and on and on about how England won the World Cup in 1966. Now, let me tell you, there's no one more patriotic than me. I can't stand all this, don't fly the Union Jack and all that business in case it offends someone. I think every house in the country should be flying the Union Jack outside. I'm the same with the England flag. I do not consider them racist or anything like that. I'm very patriotic. I love the stuff at the Royal Albert Hall last night at the Proms. But to go on and on about something, a football match that happened in 1966, do us a favour, lads. Move on. Most of them weren't even alive then. And they're all on the telly bleating on about how we won the year football in 1966. Move on, dear. You think we're going to win it this year? No, of course not. We don't win these things anymore, unfortunately, because it's all about the money now. It's all about the money. Now, what was that other one? Joseph wanted Operator. Let me write that down. Operator by Jim Croce. Christ, I've got quite a few to sort out there. Right, I think I've got all my songs there. Excellent. Tell it to... Oh, hang on. My heart will go on. Heart on my sleeve. Oh, there's loads of heart ones there, aren't there? Right, I'll take the Tell It to Your Heart one, I think, by excellent Taylor Dane. Ben says, if I wanted to watch 22 random guys trying to score for 90 minutes, I'd go to a nightclub or Chariots. One of the two, Ben. Good morning, Mark Cording. I'm about to go here. Ray picked Waltzing Matilda, did he? Oh, so two people picked that. Oh, no, Angela picked it as well, but Ray picked the version. Right, okay. See? That's terrible, isn't it? So, last night, Ray Reynolds went home with Maureen. This morning, he's trying to chat about Angela. He don't stop, does he, that one? You're a dodgy old character. You really are, Ray. Honestly, you move from one to the other. Excuse me. Dear, I nearly died. Dear beer. Nearly died then. Okay. A little text here from Claire. Good morning, Claire. Just trying out the text link. Might need it this evening. Okay, Claire. Thank you very much. What do you need the text link this evening for? Well, I'm not doing a show this evening. Oh, is this to send karaoke requests in? No, you can just send those over on the Facebook. All right, send them over on the Facebook. Good morning, Russ. Philip Verlon. Good morning, Russ. Let's have a look. I've got to keep up. I'm going to have to go here because otherwise, Back in Black. No, this one. Oh, you want Back in Black now? Oh, make your mind up for God's sake. Back in Black. You're like certain karaoke people, Angela, who give you a list of songs that they want to sing and then keep coming up every 5 minutes and changing their bloody minds. I shall name them. Shy is the worst offender. Shy. Lady Phoenix used to do that as well, but she don't do it so much anymore. DJ Chris. 3 of them. Blooming nightmares. Shy is by far the worst one. He sends in by Facebook, which is perfectly all right, his karaoke requests, and then when he comes in, he changes them straight away. And then throughout the night, he keeps coming up and saying, oh, can I change the song? Oh, well, how many more in the list am I? On and on and on. Just sit down, shut up and wait for your turn, for God's sake, blimey. Right, let's have a look there. Let's do the birthdays. Birthdays today, boys and girls. It's birthday time. Happy birthday today to cousin Tim Ryan. 52 years old today, and don't you look every year of it, Tim. You really do. So, oh dear. Tim lives in Australia. He emigrated there some years ago now, actually. And, you know, I'm 3 years older than cousin Tim, and yet he looks so much older. Isn't that strange? It must be that Australian sunshine, my dear. Happy birthday to Tim. And love to the family as well, all right? 52 today. Happy birthday, Tim Ryan. Hello to Jacob. One of my Jewish friends, 31 years old today. I think you're in Israel at the moment, so happy birthday to you, Jacob. Nice to see you on here. Joe Kelly today is a young 58 years old today. Happy birthday, Joe. Hope you're well, sir. Bev Ed Elstein, one of our Manilow girls. Happy birthday to you, Bev. You lovely lady. Mark Mitchell is 45 years old today. Oh, those keys, Mark. Those keys. Happy birthday to you, Mark. Martin Cave, 63 years old today. I worked with him. Him and his other half owned Rainbows in Coventry. Excuse me. A bit of a cough this morning. Clarence Clackers is 36 years old today. Worked with her at Belushi's in Hammersmith and London Bridge. Michael Darton. Good morning, Martin. Michael. Michael Darton is 40 years old today. Happy birthday, Michael. And Tony Harrison's birthday today. And also Ian Murrox. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Here comes our song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Tonight, it's Monday. We'll be doing karaoke tonight if you want to come and join us at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road in London, N19SD, okay? That's where the karaoke is tonight. Starts at 8 o'clock. We got cheap drinks as well on a Monday. All starts at 8 o'clock right the way through until 11:30. If you want to sing, you need to get your songs in by 10. It gets very busy, okay? You turn up at 10:30, I might be already have said that the list is now closed. So be warned. Come along early. You get there at 8 o'clock, you'll sing 2, probably 3 songs. If you're there at 8 o'clock, you'll probably sing 3 songs throughout the course of the night. You know what I mean? Between then and 11:30. You come at 10 o'clock, you might get 1 in, possibly 2. So do try and get there early because it gets really busy, okay? Just some final messages coming in there. Claire says, had to work late last Friday, but hope to be in tonight. Oh, you're coming tonight with your mum? How lovely. Going to Paul Stone's show at the Museum of Comedy. Excellent. Oh, you'll have a good time with him. Paul's a great entertainer. He really is. Dua Lipa song, Paul Mosley. Okay, yep, you can have that. Paul Mosley, Dua Lipa. Look at the time. I'm way behind with time today. The Chain, Fleetwood Mac. I'll do my best. I've left this a bit late now. Fleetwood. Left this a bit late now. I'm not going to get through all these messages. Dua Lipa, Calvin Harris one. Or which one's that? Dua Lipa, Calvin Harris. And who's that? Joanna wants a chain. Right, okay. Alrighty. All right, that's it. I'm all sorted there, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the chat show this morning. I've got a music and chat show starting in... I don't know how I'm going to get that sorted so quickly, but there we are. Got a music and chat show starting in 10 minutes. For that, go to reachonair.com. reachonair.com. Click the listen live. I don't know what's on at the moment. Whoever's on before me now, I think it's non-stop music actually. Then there's some adverts and then I start, okay, at 10 o'clock. reachonair.com. If you're not staying for that, have a nice Monday and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.